Welcome everyone to Radland. I am here tonight at the Puente Hills Mall, also known as the Twin Pines Mall, for the Back to the Future filming location, a very iconic filming location for the movie. Now, if you guys haven't heard, the mall is very vacant. There is some changes coming real soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be demolished or if they're just going to do some major remodeling. We're going to go inside. It is definitely a mall lost in time. There is a lot of vacant stores. I haven't been in here in a little while, but I've personally been coming to this mall for many years and it has changed so much. I'm going to go ahead and get some shots of the exterior and then see what it looks like inside. So here in this exact spot, you can see Marty coming down this parking entrance with his skateboard, and then he makes his way all the way down towards that safety bar over there, which is right now yellow, but in the film it's actually white. You can actually also spot those reflectors, and then just to the left of that is where you'll see the Twin Pines Mall sign, and it's actually showing 1:16 a.m. on the video. And then we'll also see that sign inside the mall, and I think it still should say 1:16 a.m. Just a little reference to the movie. Marty skateboards down all the way to the end of the entrance here, right along where this safety bar is, and then overlooks at the empty lot where you can see Doc Brown's cargo van. You can also spot a JCPenney in the background right there where that 24-hour fitness is now located. A lot has changed since then. A lot of new stores have come and gone, and there's not a lot left actually. So this is like one last visit and documentation, because I don't think this mall is going to be here very long. It looks like a lot of the stores are ending their lease and they're not renewing them, and I heard a lot of rumors that a lot of changes are coming real soon. So let's go inside and get one last look. Also, something I tripped out on when I was looking deeper into this filming location is that Michael J. Fox actually rolled down this little dirt path to save Doc Brown towards the end of the film. So that must have not been fun. That definitely probably wasn't a stunt double either. I think he did it himself, and it was like right here, unless this hedge grew a little more, but it was in this area, and it's not pretty small. It's a pretty steep little area. And of course, you can't forget the lot where if you try to hit 88 miles per hour, you're definitely going to see some serious. Too many cars here. There's probably no way anybody could do that. Maybe in the future, but as of right now, the lot is pretty crowded right now with people going to 24-hour fitness, so that definitely wouldn't be possible right now. So about to head inside the Puente Hills Mall. Now this sign has been here for as long as I can remember. I don't remember seeing it in the film, but I know this curved entrance has been here for many years. This is also seen in the film. This mall was built in 1974, parts of it, and then it was fully completed in 1975. So there's a lot of history here. Spent a lot of time with girlfriends and friends. Wow. I remember when this restaurant opened like late 2000s, it was pretty popular. It was like a buffet style, but everything looks like to still be in there as far as like furniture, but it is completely vacant and not being used. Look at that. It was called the Makino Sushi and Seafood Buffet, and they actually had a giant octopus in the middle of the restaurant. You can see it's pretty crazy to see this just vacant like that. Wow, let's get a better view there. Pretty crazy to see it just empty. Giant octopus just there by itself. Here it says, to our valued customers, nothing is more important to us than the safety of our guests, employees, and our community. We are all in this together and we want to do our part. Due to mandatory state and mid-statewide or citywide mandates by the governors to shut down restaurants, bars, we are temporarily closing. We will open when it's safe to reopen again. This must have been during COVID, so it doesn't look like they recovered after COVID, just like much of these other restaurants here in the mall. And this entire mall pretty much didn't recover after COVID. It kind of stayed dead ever since the shutdown. Pretty crazy. Here, this Fashion Q store has a sign that says, "We closing of the business 8/28/2022." That was a long time ago, and it is still here, the sign. I wouldn't have that up there. I guess they're not renewing leases and no one's coming back to open the store. It just sits empty. Now there's no glass here, so you can see a lot of the stuff that was left behind. Just this countertop, looks like some wall decorations, but nothing to point out on what kind of store this was. I'm sure it was called Fashion Q, so looks like there's some mirrors, fire extinguishers. Nothing too crazy, but pretty eerie to see it all empty like this. It's a pretty big store. Now, one of the cool architectural designs of this mall is that it has this like skyway window going all across the mall. So during the day, you get this nice natural sunlight and it goes all the way down. So you'll get this going all the way down, and that's a little older style model. So you won't see that in a lot of new malls, but it looks really neat during the day. They also still have the conversation pieces here, so you can kind of just sit here. I'm not sure what you would be sitting here waiting for, but they have these seats and this little carpet area still here. Looks like they have some vending machines that are currently working, which I'm really surprised. I'm not sure who uses these, maybe some employees, but I'm pretty sure they don't have to add to these very often. Here's a look at the old Hollister store. You can see there's like black tarp covering the doors, and it's just completely empty. Usually right now there'd be like Christmas decorations. Looks like there was some stuff hanging here, but they took it down as well. You can't really go inside. I think it's probably boarded up. Yeah, the doors are closed. There's nothing you can't get in here. Typically it would say Hollister right here too, but it looks like the lighting is still there. It's just completely vacant. Looks like this used to be the handicap entrance. It doesn't even let you can press it anymore. Oh yeah, you can still press it, but obviously it's not going to work. Now, the last time I was here, probably about a year ago, this was like one giant store of a lot of vendors, and it looks like they moved. It says we've moved to the AMC wing next to the Levick jeweler store, so they're probably still open. Where the AMC, they do have an AMC theater in this mall that is still operating, so maybe there's stores over there, but we'll have to walk around and see. And there it is. Happy to see it's still here, the Twin Pines Mall sign. Now, this is a replica, but last time I was here, the mall was missing the A. Looks like they replaced it with some tape. It looks a little bit better. I'm glad they added that, and it still says 1:16 a.m., which is the time in the film where Marty meets Doc. Pretty cool this is still here. I hope it lasts. I don't see this being moved anywhere else. Hopefully, if they do move it or do tear down this area, that they reinstall it back outside. That would be really cool, because this is where it belongs, and I don't see it being anywhere else. Maybe somewhere in the Universal backlot, but I don't see that happening. Surprisingly, all these machines are still up and running. This one says still accepting cash, pay cash and save money, or you can use your card. I wouldn't recommend buying these. I'm not sure how long they've been sitting there, because I don't think the turnaround is pretty often. So here, there's also still some coin machines that looks like they're still functioning. They also have a change machine if you want to break change. So I think these are still up and running. Looks like the custodials kind of keep them clean, because these look fairly new, but it doesn't look like they've been used for quite a while. Oh, there's one starting up right now. Yeah, they're definitely functioning. Maybe it's the ghost using them. That's kind of weird that just went off right now. They also have this toy machine, which I'm assuming never gets used. I haven't seen any kids pass by here from entering here. Usually in the mall, you'll see kids running around. There is no one here, not one person in this mall. Well, maybe one person is sitting down, but just walking around shopping, there's no stores open. Now, here's the first. The mall is currently open, but there is nobody here at the customer information booth. It says you can follow us on Facebook. They have that little pamphlet there. And then also the Puente Hills Mall guest services booth hours, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and it's currently between those hours and there's nobody here, but it says please note guest services closes periodically for state mandated breaks. I just think the mall is a little empty and they don't need anybody here. There's currently nobody walking around, a few people sitting down, maybe a few mall walkers, but that's about it. All the stores are pretty much closed. Here's a look at the Skyway architecture that I was mentioning earlier. This is an old style you'll see in older malls. This is where the sun beams down and gives it like a natural sunlight. It is still a really cool thing to look at, even at night. And also back in the day, probably about 15 years ago, there was a koi fish pond that would go all around the lower area of the mall, and that was really cool. That was one of my favorite things, but they took that out several years ago, and now they just carpet and tile and a little more modern. So that was something I really loved about this mall, and it made it really stand out. And not to my surprise, Claire's is still open. This will probably be the last remaining store if the mall does close. I always like to call these the cockroach stores of the mall. They will outlive an apocalypse. They will still be standing here if the mall closes down. So these are always the last ones to go, but it'll stay here as long as the mall still does. It's kind of ironically sad that a lot of these construction walls have billboards that make it look like these stores are going to reopen. This one appears to be a sweet and savory, look like a bakery or maybe like a lunch place, and it says new dining options are baking in the oven. I don't think that's going to be happening. This looks like a very old billboard. You can see some of the water has seeped through there. You can see some of this right here is already peeling off. So this has been here for quite a while. I don't see it reopening. It looks like once they closed or during the construction, they didn't follow through, they didn't complete it, and it's just probably never going to open again. So I'm really curious of what's going to happen to this mall, if they're going to remodel the entire thing or if they're going to open up new leasing for new businesses. This is the old Forever 21. Now Forever 21 is not gone. There's still a lot of stores left. Just this one here in the Puente Hills Mall no longer exists. Looks like they vacated the premises. There's nothing left. Doesn't look like they left anything major other than some furniture, maybe some display items. Pretty empty. Pretty creepy to see like this. It's a very big store and it's just been sitting here for years not being used. Here we have more of those conversation pieces. Looks like some of these are ripped on this side, and this is here right next to the old Sears, one of the oldest department stores. I think there's only maybe a dozen left. There's not any left actually in this area. So this is one of the biggest areas in the mall. This was the biggest department store besides like Burlington, bigger than the AMC, I even say. You can see it's completely vacant, 2 levels of emptiness. You can see this was one of the biggest stores. You can enter the mall this way, and now it just sits empty. It's very creepy to see like this. I'm not sure if they're going to use this again. You can see there was escalators also to go up and down. Sears is definitely one of the biggest department stores in its day. It has since then downsized, and majority of them look like this. I would love to go inside, take a look around, but it is completely closed. There's no way for us getting inside. We'll just have to take a look at the upstairs and see what that looks like. I'm surprised these escalators are still working. They are very slow, looks like, but the fact that they're working is pretty neat. That's just some signs of stores still operating upstairs on the 2nd level. But yeah, these are very, very slow. Here, coming up to the old entrance of the upper level Sears, you can see kind of like the silhouette where the Sears sign used to be. There's some holes that has since now taken down. There's no windows over here. You can't really see much in this area, but that's where the sign used to be, Sears up there. And now it's completely got this gate on. It's completely closed. You can kind of see a little bit inside, but not too much. Kind of the same thing going on. This is very dirty, kind of just people looking through there. See there, wow, very interesting to see this. Let's see if I can brighten this up a little bit. So this glass is just really dirty. This is pretty much like plastic you can see through. Not much going on in there, pretty empty. Now this is pretty ironic. Right in front of the Sears that no longer exist. A big fail. That's definitely what happened here. But you can't beat this sky view. This is one of the coolest things here. It goes all the way down towards the center of the mall and all the way to round 1, which is a functioning arcade. It's actually a pretty cool area. It's probably got more people than this entire mall and parking lot put together. But pretty sad to see like this. This is definitely, oh look, Champs is open, which is really surprising. They got 70% off, which I'm assuming they're probably going to close the stores as well. That's probably why they're doing 70% off. Wow, $2.99 for t-shirts. I mean, this is a crazy deal. You don't see those prices anywhere in any kind of mall. Check out the Boba neon sign right there. Boba would have sounded really good right now, but sadly this place is closed. It was called Boba Time. At least the neon light would have been cool to see on, but it's no longer here and no longer on. Oh, it looks like they torn some of the black tint. So this is the kind of stuff they used to have, but it doesn't look like they'll be coming back anytime soon. Huh. This might have been like the order window, I would say. It's a little cutout area. Maybe if you didn't want to go inside and sit down, you could just like pick up here, I'm assuming, right underneath the neon sign. Hope that doesn't get demolished. I hope it kind of stays. I like to see stuff like that. All blacked out. It's so quiet here. It is so big and so quiet. I look down at the first level from the second level. Not a soul here. At least not in this part of the mall. This is the store that I was talking about earlier that kind of has different vendors. Looks like they're still open. But if you want to check them out, it looks like they got a lot of collectibles. Chucky, Mandalorian, pulp culture stuff. Oh look, there's Chucky right there. That would be pretty creepy to see him walking around here right now on these hours. $500 for that Chucky. So after a little research online, it looks like that they were going to be doing this kind of concept art here in the Puente Hills Mall. Kind of like an outdoor, indoor shopping center, but it didn't work out. This is since a few years ago. You can see the tape and all the other stuff kind of falling apart. A window into your future. Hopefully not, because this didn't go very well for them. It is sad to see it like this. A lot of these stores look like this, boarded up, construction boards. But you got a few standing, like Vans, which are completely empty. I'm not sure how these stores make any money. I haven't seen anybody walk around really. Most of them are just boarded up or either closed down. Now here's something that's becoming a lot more popular in malls is Foot Lockers are closing to make better for their standalone stores. You can see this one is completely vacant. It's been gone for quite some time. Last time I was here, it was one of the first stores gone. But like many others, you can see there's nothing left. All completely gone. I just saw security. I thought he was going to kick me out, but apparently they don't really care, I guess. There's a lot of people that just walk amongst after hours and don't do anything. I mean, what really can you do if the malls are closed, the stores are closed? There's not really much you can do but walk around and just take a look at the stores that are all closed. Now this part of the mall is probably where I spent most of my time in my early teens, is here in the cafeteria right above the movie theater. I used to come up here, get my food or some lunch or dinner, and then stuff it in my backpack, sneak it in the movie theater, and then watch my movie. There was like hot dog on a stick. They had a lot of different things to choose from, but now it is pretty much all gone. It's kind of sad to see it this way. I used to hang out here before my movie started. If my movie was like in an hour, come up here, eat, or just get my food and sneak it into the movie. It's been a little while since I've been up in this area part of the mall, but it is a little sad. I had an uncle that lived not too far from here. This was our home movie theater. We used to come eat and then go downstairs, watch a movie, or sneak our food in our backpacks and watch the movie. And just to see it like this, completely dead, is kind of sad. Malls are not what they used to be. They are a thing of the past because times are changing. Amazon is the thing now. Slowly malls are disappearing and becoming a thing of the past. This food court used to be jumping with people. Right after or before the movies, we would come, grab our food, take it down with us, or just enjoy it up here in the food court. The only thing open is hot dog on a stick, and that is just during certain occasions. That's not every day. You can see it says temporarily closed due to repairs being completed. So not even sure if they're gonna come back. But last time I was here, they were open. Well, all these were open. I remember coming to the Mongolian Grill. We used to fill up our bowls here, and then Tacos Mexico was probably our favorite spot over here at the corner. Very sad to see it like this. I'm not even kidding. This is really, really sad. Here it is, Tacos Mexico. This is where we used to come. This is probably our most popular and favorite spot here in the mall to eat right before a movie. And now the menu's gone. It looks like, well, it's set under new management, so looks like they try to save it, but it just didn't work out. Not enough business, most likely after COVID, and they shut down. You could see a lot of dust particles here behind the soda machine. Yeah, this hasn't been open in a long time. And I used to come here pretty often. We used to get some tacos, and we used to sit here at this little corner, not this corner table, but there used to be like one big long table that was kind of bolted onto the ground. It's kind of like a bar, and we would sit at the bar, get our tacos, and just enjoy this whole area. It was a mall, so it was filled with life, filled with people, and now it is completely gone. I think this used to be a Subway, if I remember. Yeah, this was definitely a Subway. This is where you would order your food, your sandwich. They would tell them what condiments you want, and now this is gone too. Malls are definitely a thing of the past, which is kind of sad. It's times back then were really fun coming to the mall with family, friends. It was something I used to do after high school. Tokyo Grill doesn't even look like it's open either. Wow. Surprised this whole area is even open to sit down. I think because hot dog on a stick and that Hawaiian katsu, which wasn't here before, looks like it might still be open from time to time. but there's some people enjoying like their lunch, maybe some of the workers, but this looks like a pretty empty spot during the day or even at night. Pretty sad area here at the Puente Hills Mall. For me at least, because it holds a lot of memories. Another area that's bringing back a lot of memories is this seating area back here. It was a little bit different back then. They did have like this long couch that stretched from that pillar to the next. And it was a little area you can overlook when the AMC first opened. They brought a new long couch and we would just sit here and relax before our movie started, and we would just overlook the theater. It was such a cool little area, and it's not part of the theater. This is actually the mall, but it's a cool little overlooking zone just to look at the theater. It was so cool when it first opened, and I haven't been here since then, so pretty neat that they still have this here. I wish they had that long couch that was here because it was kind of cool just to sit back and relax. But obviously things change and it is a lot different from what it used to be. Gonna head down the escalator now. Very slow escalator, but a very nice view of the mall. Such a big space. And a big staple of many malls around the world is a pretzel place. And I'm not sure if this was Annie's Pretzels or Wetzel's Pretzels. I can't tell. I don't remember the checkered pattern where that's from. I think this is probably Annie's because Wetzel's Pretzels was a darker blue. I know this is a Pretzel's place because you can see there the pretzel shape where they make the pretzels. This was the table, and they would have a glass here, and it's all gone. So you could see they had their menu boards up there. This is probably where the cash register would go, where you would pay right here after making your pretzels, putting in your order. And then looks like they have the kitchenette back there, a sink. It looks like it hasn't been here in quite some time. I've probably gotten a handful of pretzels here before, I just don't remember, either here or in the food court, but kind of sad to see like this. Wish this was still open, I probably would have got some today. I just spoke with mall security. The mall is now closed. I told him I'm sorry. I couldn't tell if it was open or closed because obviously there's nobody here. He said no worries. If I need a few minutes, go ahead and walk around, but just not to stay here all night. Probably gonna wrap it up, do a quick walk around and end the video there. Wow. Yeah, mall hours Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So holiday hours may vary, but that's the hours for the Puente Hills Mall as of right now. If anything changes, I'll keep you guys posted. Well, that's gonna do for today here from the Puente Hills Mall, aka the Twin Pines Mall. It will forever hold a place in my heart for Back to the Future and for childhood memories. Hope they don't demolish it, hope they revive it somehow. Wish I could take it back to its roots, back to the way malls used to be, real lively, full of people and full of joy. But unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen. Glad I got to visit it one last time, make a video, share it here with you guys, document it. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens here to this mall. Thank you all to my viewers and new subscribers for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I have a lot more videos coming your way. Also, I'll be trying to put out more daily vlogs, so stay tuned. Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.